Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the College Chess Podcast, Season 3, Episode 11. My name's Joe. I run the Collegiate Chess League. This is a very special guest here with us today, the one and only Rob Harker. He's got party
Oh,
balloons.
yeah, those balloons are
All
sick.
right, Rob, starting
Stoked
off
to be here.
with some graphics. This is a higher product quality than we're used to.
Oh, I'm honored to be here. I had to bring the party. Love the balloons.
That's awesome. Well, Rob, tell us first and foremost. I know you because you were one of our ambassadors in the college ambassador program. So, how did you get involved with that, and where do you go?
Yeah, so I think you just you found me off of the BYU Instagram. I was mobbing, putting reels on Instagram, just starting the chess content journey, and slid into the DMs, and you were like, "Yo, do you want to be a chess.com ambassador?" And it was such a cool program. Um, and yeah, then I think that was maybe 2 years ago now. So did it for like a good year and a half, and you guys were so awesome. It was a hoot.
Yeah, and I know you were running the club with some other ambassadors, and we sent you some merch. We sent you guys some memberships, and really that was kind of like the first time we'd ever done anything like that. This ambassador program, it's like relatively new. Um, but what do you do now?
Yeah.
Now I don't think you're running the club anymore, right?
No, I'm not, but I do want to say that the chess.com merch was like one of the biggest incentives for homies to come out to the tournaments because we normally just give them away at tournaments. Um, but they would be like, "Yo, dude, I want one of those keychains." Like to this day, I get people asking for the keychains and stuff, and I think it's such a fun program, and it definitely brought some a little bit more energy to the club because everybody knows what chess.com is. So that was a really fun component of running the BYU club. But yeah, you're right. I retired at the BYU club as president and passed the baton over to some other homies that are now running it. And I retired because I started my own community club. It's called Chess Night, like night, like the chess night.
Oh, like a
Um,
pun.
and
Nice.
yeah, yeah. So it's good. It's been a ton of fun. It is. So not only is it a club, it's also my business. And so it's given me a little bit like in the university there was a lot of red tape, and so there were a lot of things I was limited to doing, and that was a big motivation for me to start my own club. I was like, hey, I can get it exactly how I want. I can funnel money towards it how I'd want. And so I've created Chess Night, and to obviously in my biased opinion, I think it's a pretty rad club.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen what you have been up to. We have your Instagram actually linked in the chat if anyone wants to go check it out, which I encourage you all to do
Yeah.
so. I saw that you bought a night suit and have been interviewing people like on campus or just around town. Like, tell us how long you've been doing that and what that's been like for you.
Yeah, the night suit is the moment I saw you guys drop those on chess.com, I was like, boom, ordered it immediately. Um, and the first time was pretty like I felt very uncomfortable because you got to steel your courage. Like putting on that thing, you feel pretty ridiculous. And so I didn't go to my university. I went to another one, UVU. And but still in the area. And so I just mobbed campus and it was around Halloween time. So I like brought candy and stuff. And then just went around. I was like, yo, do you play chess? And like just wearing the suit, it would attract so many people. And I'd give out candy if they'd like answer questions right, or I'd be like, hey, so how does the knight move? And then they'd have to like pretend to be a knight. And gradually we'd evolve the questions to be a little more difficult, and we've attracted a few players that way. And it's fun for social. Like I think people like seeing me be ridiculous in that suit.
I love that you went to University of Utah instead of your normal campus BYU because Do you feel like you needed to make sure people that know you don't see you like that?
100%. Like, well, and BYU is kind of notorious for being a little stricter on like with content creators. There's been a lot of stuff with content creators on BYU campus, and so I was like, you know what? One, I don't want to be caught in this by somebody I know, and two, I'm worried that BYU would be like, "What are you doing in that chest suit?" So, but they're great. They have their reasoning. But yeah, it's been fun to mob other campuses in the suit.
Yeah, I love I've seen a ton of these videos actually of people interviewing students at BYU. So like are you saying the campus like security or they're trying to be more strict about these like influencers on campus?
Totally. I mean, like most of them are like these social rights activists, which I think is a worthy cause, but at the same time they ask pretty provocative questions like because BYU is so conservative. And it's a private university, and they have the right to do that. But then these creators come on and ask really provocative questions that frame these students in, and to be fair, some of their answers are like, "Oh my gosh," but like, would you rather kill a puppy or drink a shot? And it's like, and so they it's a good for virality, but it frames the campus in a tough light, and so I think without giving any context and without giving students an opportunity to, and you post the ones that are viral, right? That you know are going to go viral. You don't post the ones that are normal,
Yeah.
and so I think that's why BYU is getting a little bit stricter on that. So
Yeah. Well, so you're still a student, right?
I am, yeah, I'm part time right now, but yes, I am a student, and I'll finish up here next year.
And what are you studying right now?
I'm studying, so I did a business minor. I I I'm like a super senior. I've taken so long because I've been around. I started in supply chain, did supply chain in Chinese actually for like 2.5 years, and then took a hiatus and just went backpacking for like a semester, and then I came back and was like psychology. So been doing psychology, just snagged a business minor, and finishing up the psych minor or the psych major. So
Awesome.
yeah.
We have some questions in chat actually. Well, one of my
I,
coworkers, he wants to know the answer to your puppy question. Would you rather? Now that you brought it up, so I don't know. That's a tough question, but you're the one that brought it up. So
Yeah, no, I know. People love we I was literally just talking to my homies about these questions. Like I mean, knee-jerk reaction is, yeah, I drink the shot. But I think what's frustrating about those questions is that it like because it's a pretty strong moral. I've never had alcohol and probably never will. Um, but those questions are like the attempt is to make you look as ridiculous as possible. Um, and
yeah, because you're never gonna be
like
in a
the
situation where you have to actually make that choice, right?
unless some homie comes up to me with a gun and is like, you either
It's you or
like
the
I
dog.
said
Take the
I
shot.
answered that question to somebody else. And I said, oh, I'd take a shot to that puppy's head.
Oh my
um
goodness. Okay,
but
well, there it
but
is.
I wouldn't I wouldn't. But I do want to clarify that like no, yeah, my standards are still like high. I wouldn't want to kill a puppy, but I also don't want to take a shot. So
Yeah, yeah. It's a tough decision for many people, I'm sure.
I yeah, I know it shouldn't be, but yeah, no, it's they're very catchy questions
Yeah.
that are fun to catch poor BYU students on their way to their math class, unaware of what's going on.
Just unsuspecting students caught by these questions out of nowhere. But yeah, I've seen the videos. I've seen there's a bunch of stereotypes, of course. But actually,
Yeah,
I see someone else from Utah tuning in saying, "Hey, it's Mario, who I know. He's also involved in the college chess world, running the club over at U of U." Um,
Mario is an absolute wizard. He started coming to chess night. I think I'd been nagging him for like a while, like, yo, come to chess night, come to chess night. And then finally he comes through, and I think he for sure has the reigning uh first place record. Like he takes that tournament pretty much every time. I think he's only not taken like 2 or 3 times he hasn't taken it. But yeah, he takes the tournament pretty much every time, and it's great. He's awesome.
Rob, I don't know if you knew this. Fun fact about me, I actually used to live in Lehigh.
Yo, you didn't tell me this. Man,
This
we're
is
we're in
news.
your crib.
And I also lived a little bit in American Fork. So
Oh my gosh,
yeah,
no way. You're a
only
native
the
to the
Utah.
area.
No, no, not native. No, I was born and raised in St. Louis, Missouri. I moved to
Okay.
California when I was 16. Went to school here at UCLA. I live in LA now, but I did a year in Utah and then I did a year in Oregon and now I'm back here in California. So yeah, fun fact with me. And I actually have met Mario a few times. Those guys travel to compete at a lot of tournaments, especially in Vegas. I
Yeah.
played chess with them. I think Salt Lake like Community College. Uh,
Yeah, Slick is great.
Fun fact about them, their mascot's also the Bruins. So um,
Very sick.
BYU are the Cougars, right?
We went, yeah, we're the Cougars. Yep.
And
I
Utah is the Utes.
Yeah, the Utes. We got the Utes, the Cougars, the Wolverines is UVU. That's another one. They're creeping onto the map.
Yeah.
But
So
I mean the U takes up a lot of space in the chess world.
yeah, and all of this is relevant because you're actually hosting an intercollegiate tournament coming up soon, right? The Intermountain Intercollegiate.
Yes, yeah, we're so stoked about it. Initially it was BYU's turn to host it, but just because of some red tape with administration and not getting things approved, BYU wasn't able to host it. So the president reached out to me. He's like, "Yo, does Chess Night want to host it?" And I was like, "Of course! It's one of my favorite tournaments." Um, and it's a ton of fun just because you get a lot of different universities. I think right now we have maybe 7 universities attending, all the way down from UNLV. We invited ASU, but still haven't heard from you guys. So if you guys still want to come, you can up to like BYUI. So we've got quite a few schools that are coming through. It'll be fun, and it's in Lehigh. So
That's awesome. Yeah, if I was still around, I would definitely go. Oh, actually, that's is it on what's the date again?
I think it's the 23rd. Yeah.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, it's the 20. So it's next Saturday.
Yeah. So Collegiate Chess League will be having its semifinals for D1, but it is a playoff round. But what time is your tournament?
Tournament starts at like 10:30. I mean, we're gonna say 10:30. Hopefully, we actually start at 10:30. And then we have 2 sections. So for our team section, that'll go hopefully wrap up around 4.
Awesome. So yeah, 7 schools.
Yeah.
We have Brody in chat saying SIUE didn't get that invite. Well, you guys are invited now. I'm officially inviting you. So can't wait to see you there, Brody. Uh,
You are invited, Brody. We want you there.
yeah. So SIUE, it's kind of a bit of a journey that's in Southern Illinois. But you know,
Bro, come through, man. Like anybody's invited. Technically it's supposed to be anybody on the mountain range, but like, hey, we'll take
hey
any
man,
college student that wants to play.
they got the Cahokia Mountains out in Illinois.
Cahokia.
I think
I don't even
Brody fact check me on that. Maybe I might be wrong. Mountains of the Midwest. Okay, well, anyways, but yeah, Rob, I think it's so cool, like running the chess club at school and now running your own club. Like, how did you get interested in starting your own chess club?
Yeah, that's a good question. It started so I think with the chess renaissance after Queen's Gambit and during COVID, I started a club when I was in high school. I went to a community club when I was a little kid at a library. And then after high school or when I started going to university, I was like, yo, where's the chess club at? And it was just like inactive. They hadn't been around for like a year or two. So I resurrected that club after seeing the Queen's Gambit and being like, oh, dude, I freaking love chess. And so resurrected that club. We did and I've also always had a hunger for entrepreneurial ventures. I like entrepreneurship. It fires me up. And I've been thinking a lot about like different business ventures and things to do. And we hosted a charity event where we just dropped um, it was to a refugee charity. I can't remember exactly, but anyways, we charged like $10 a pop for people to play in the tournament. And I was really nervous because they're like, oh, nobody's gonna show up. It's not gonna be good because like people always play for free here. And literally like we filled it up with like 36 players. And I was like, what? And that's kind of when the seed was planted. I was like, interesting. And I just thought, hey, like if I charged people to come into a club, one, I could get a little cash flow, and two, I could make it like such a cooler club. Um, and so that's eventually one Monday I just bought like $1,500 worth of chess stuff, and it showed up at my house, and I was like, let's do this.
Wow, that's insane. That's incredible. Obviously, chess, the game that we all love and support, we need more organizers, right? There's not enough organizers that are hosting events, putting on events, hosting clubs, making the clubs fun and exciting to go to. So I wanted to ask you, like, how exactly do you make your club more fun for people to tune into and to actually attend? Like, what makes your club different than any other chess club?
Yeah. I would say, I mean, our slogan is not your average chess club, and it's not. We had somebody find us on the USCF site, and they came through because I have a posting on the USCF site, um, and they came through and they're like, "Is this rated? Like, what is this? Like, you're playing music?" And he was like a little peeved. I think he dropped us a review that was like, "Yeah, not like any normal rated tournaments," and that's totally true. And we don't rate our tournaments. They are like we do play music, and it's a little distracting, and the lighting is moody and fun. And we do a ton of snacks, and like my vision for it was like I want a sexy chess club. I want a chess club that does it justice. Like yes, old duffers playing in a library is like classic, and that's where I learned chess. But I was like, no, like chess can be so much cooler, and it's just such an incredible game. That we really try and create not only just a place to play chess, but like a third space where people like to hang out. And then obviously we have the competitive aspect of the tournament, and we give out some cash. So that's how it's separate from a lot of the other community clubs.
That's awesome, man. Yeah, love that you're changing kind of the image and making it sexy in your own words. And obviously, I definitely have seen the Instagram posts, and I feel like you're doing exactly that. And you actually have even started your own podcast. Is that right?
Yes, yeah, and we have like 7 episodes filmed, but I just don't have enough time to edit and like chop up all the clips and post them. Because I work full time, and then I go to school part time, and then I have chess night. So it's like, unfortunately, I haven't gotten the other episodes going. But yeah, we've had 7 episodes. They're super sick, and I'm excited to post them. I just need the time to do it.
Do you have any leaks of who we can expect to see next? Or
Oh,
is
yeah,
that
I
secret
mean,
info?
so no, no, no. Most of them are local players. Like I just draw from the chess night group. I'm gonna try and get Mr. GM Caden Trough to be on there. We're doing a simul with him. If any of you are interested in playing in the simul, that'll be in April. I believe we decided on the 7th. But that'll just be a regular chess night. schedule, but it'll be a simul, and we'll have probably 20, 25 people play. Um, but Caden would be fun to have on there. Other than that, there are our players. So I think John Bardales is our next one, and he's just a regular. So with cool stories, I think that's what's fun is leveraging chess as an opportunity for people to tell their story.
Yeah, and that's kind of what we're doing here with you. So we could take some notes from your podcast. I saw some of the first bit that you posted already, so that was really cool. And speaking of Caden, I think he started his own channel. I think he's a chess shark now. Is that right? Yeah.
Chess Sharks, yeah, they had a little pivot, and so now they're doing Chess Sharks. Really fun channel. I mean, they're always so fun to watch. They're like him and Tony are super fun streamers.
Yeah. And speaking of streaming, are you maybe considering streaming and getting into that world? As you're running a chess club for a business, right?
Right. Yeah. No, that's a also a great question. I was telling you earlier, Joe, I'm a fine chess player. I'm not like an amazing chess player, you know? And so if people watch me, I can't like I also have told myself I'm gonna dedicate some time and like get my chess muscles woken up again. Because honestly, like I would say I play worse chess now after running these clubs than I did before. Because it just takes so much time. And so I'd love to stream. I don't know if there's people that would want to watch me play. And I also don't know if I have the bandwidth, the time to dedicate to streaming. So, but maybe if I could get some of my players to stream for our account, that'd be fun.
Yeah, that'd be great. I mean, you could even just set up a camera on like one of the boards at the club and just have that go live and just call it the featured board. Or, I mean, there's a lot of ideas. I think it's good marketing. I think that regardless of your elo, people would tune in for you for sure. Like you're entertaining, you provide a lot of value to the chess community. Obviously, you're running your own club with a lot of other those people, and you could run your podcast on stream as well, which is like what we do, but probably what you're doing. You guys have a YouTube channel or no?
I mean, we have the account, we have like the domain, but we haven't posted anything to it.
Yeah, someone in chat saying don't forget the mustache. Definitely a huge asset for right now. The
I
mustache is
I
carrying
appreciate
the
that.
podcast. That's what our viewers are tuning in for.
I appreciate you guys. I used to do the full beard, but BYU does not allow full beard, so we opted for the stash. So I appreciate you gassing me up with the stash.
Well, so what do they do if you have a full beard?
You can't like
You just
pretty much they regulate it. Like
they come in the night and shave for you.
correct. They have students that are dedicated to just come and shave those suckers.
The midnight barber.
That would that would be so funny.
Oh
That would
man.
somebody needs to create a meme account like that. No, they just don't let you take any exams. So you can't get into
Whoa,
the testing center to take exams.
that's crazy. Hmm.
You can't have long hair. Like this is as rebellious as I get.
That's yeah, that's quite rebellious, Rob. Luckily, our measurements here on the podcast are looser. So I think it slides by our regulations.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Before I went live, I made sure of it. So,
Yeah.
yeah. Um,
I, I'm curious to know what the criteria is to get on the college
on the
chess
on the
podcast.
well, we have high standards. First and foremost, this might be the first time we've ever done back to back uh podcast episodes. Yesterday we had Mars on, who's one of our creators that we met. She actually was streaming chess earlier in the year, and we invited her on, so she's pretty excited. She's a student down in Mexico.
I
Yeah,
saw the post. Yeah, I did a quick stalk. Seems like a cool gal.
yeah, she's really cool. So I recommend people go check out that podcast episode if they missed it. That was hosted by Xander and Max, who aren't here today. Shout out to Max. It's his birthday on Pi Day.
Happy birthday, Max.
So he's out celebrating right now. I didn't want to have him bogged down for work on his B day, but yeah, are you celebrating Pi Day at all?
You know what? I can't say I am. They have pie outside on campus, so maybe I'll snag a piece of pie. Um, but I'm not a huge pie guy. So I'm more of like a if I had to opt for a dessert, it'd probably be more the cookie zone.
Okay. Okay.
How
That's
about
fair.
you? Do you have any traditions for Pi Day?
Not really, but there's a restaurant out here that only serves pies. I forgot what it's called, but I went there last year, so maybe we'll hit that up again today. But
Incredible.
yeah, are you guys running your club tonight? Is it Thursdays?
Thursday. Every night, if any of these homies are here in Utah, come through, see if you can dethrone Mario. He's always down for a challenge.
Or Brody,
Um,
right? Brody's invited.
Brody, you're so invited. You come out from Illinois. Yeah,
Brody's rocking
you
some
fly
facial.
out, bro.
Is his
I
facial
will
hair
wait.
allowed?
Brody's.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean if he could get a handlebar in there, then I'd give him bonus points. I'll feature him on the gram.
Whoa, Brody, you hear that? Exclusive Brody content over at the Utah Chess Knights.
Uh,
So
Chess Chestnut was taken. The username is taken, and so I had to opt for Utah Chestnut. I've been messaging the guy. I'm like, dude, I will buy this from you. So if any of you know how to reach names like Brian or something,
Brian,
I want his domain. I want his username.
I hope that deal works out for you, because it's a
Thank
pretty
you.
serious name. Um,
It is.
my real name is Joe Lee, but online I go by Joe Bruin because there's way too many Joe Lees out there. Too many.
Well, I feel like Joe Bruin is suiting. I mean, I've always known you as Joe Bruin, and it feels right. Feels good.
Yeah,
My high school, we were the Bruins, and so
go
like
Bruins.
Bruins,
Yeah.
we would say "Bruin up a legend" was our slogan. So
I love it. That's great. Um, yeah, so there's one thing coming up for you tomorrow that I wanted to maybe sneak peek announce here. Obviously Utah, we're learning it's kind of a hub for chess, and not just for chess and the clubs that you run in the colleges and the chess sharks, but also that's a little lesser known fun fact. Chess.com's headquarters is actually up in Utah. So we've actually invited you to the studio to record some content. So is there anything you want to maybe like leak for the fans and let them know to be aware of?
um so just know that the attire that will be worn during that content sesh will be just exciting. Okay. And also, we'll be doing a little interview action with none other than the Danny Wrench. So I'm stoked. I'm also a little like, should I be nervous? I don't know. What should I ask him? Like I've never had this opportunity. So Chad, if you have any suggestions of questions to ask him, like on or off camera, I'm curious. But yeah, super stoked to be able to go film some content with you guys. It'll be awesome.
Yeah, so this is not an invite that many ambassadors or even former ambassadors would get. I think kind of lucking out that you're in the Utah area. Actually, when I was living in Utah, I was helping the production for the World Chess Championship back when it
Cool.
was Nepo versus Magnus, and
Wow.
they flew in Fabi and Robert Hess for commentary with Danny.
So
And so,
sick.
yeah, that was the first time that I met those guys. Actually, I'd met Hess earlier, but actually, I met Hess and Fabi both at 2019 Pro Chess League. What am I talking about? I got both their signatures on my board behind me. But I met them for the
So
second
sick.
time in Utah. So who knew that Utah would be this studio production center for chess.com? Seems almost random, but
Totally.
actually it's not, because a lot of our leadership, including our CEO, they have ties to BYU. So
Eric, I believe Eric was president, right?
of the chess
Of
club.
of the BYU of the chess club, if I'm not
Wow, so
mistaken.
you guys are both maybe he'll be there tomorrow. I'll
Dude,
let him know.
I would fangirl pretty hard, to be honest. Like
Yeah.
I think Eric is so sick. I've listened to a lot of his stuff on podcasts, and I just think he's a G.
Yeah, yeah. I'll definitely let him know that you'll be there. Maybe he'll stop by to say hi. But you wouldn't be the first chess club president that I've taken to the studio, actually. I think the University of Utah, before Mario, they had Danny, I think. I don't know if you've met him. I don't know what he's
Yeah.
up to these days, but I invited him after one of our productions for that week. So yeah, if you're
Cool.
in
Well,
Utah, you're in luck because you get these kind of
good gig.
opportunities. Yeah,
Well, I do want to I I want to point out how deep chess runs in your veins. You were born in St. Louis,
complete
moved
coincidence.
to yeah, then moved to California and then back to Utah. Like those are I feel like those are pretty big birthplaces of like chess community. And now you're in LA. And Michelle is doing great things with the LA Chess Club out there. So like you maybe it's you, Joe. Maybe whatever you touch. Who has the golden touch? What's that?
Midas.
Midas.
Yeah.
Maybe you're the chess Midas, Joe. Wherever you touch is where the chess booms.
Well, I can't take credit for St. Louis because they actually started doing major things in the chess world after I left. So I left in like 2012. I mean, I think they started the club around 2010. I could be completely off. But like,
Yeah.
yeah, fun fact about me, I started playing chess because I moved high schools. I went
Oh, cool.
halfway through high school. I was like, I'm pretty bored and need something new to do. So I joined the chess club. And then I started watching chess like on YouTube. And then I saw this like St. Louis Chess Club hosting this tournament called the Singfield Cup. And I was like, you're kidding me, right? Like the best players in the world are going to St. Louis like the year after I left. Like unreal.
That's crazy. Wait, so what? How old were you when you started playing?
I started when I was 16, seriously.
You started pretty late then, I feel
Yeah,
like.
for like chess players go, yeah, I'm not titled or anything. But yeah, Mario's correcting me. It was a mean. I said Danny, I feel like I forgot what he goes by online. But yes, it is Amin. Um,
I mean, I don't know if I've met. Well,
he
I don't think
graduated
I've
a while
met
ago.
him. Yeah, I've been first intercollegiate I did was like 3 years ago, 4 years ago. So if it wasn't within that time span, I wouldn't have met him.
Okay, so yeah, his online username was Daniel because that's his middle name. So I'm not crazy. I'm not crazy.
Ah, okay.
I knew it was Dan or something. Anywho, I did introduce him to Fabi and Hess, and unfortunately, I don't think they'll be there tomorrow when you're there, Rob. But
Can't you get Magnus out for me, Joe? Come on.
I mean, I can try. I can try using my connections, but I'm gonna try to get Eric to show up for you.
Dude, that would
So
be Eric would be that would be a hoot and a half. I would that would be more
yeah.
than sufficient. I
So when you signed up to join this ambassador program, did you expect that we'd be sending you to meet Danny at the studio and film some content, or like what were your
I
expectations?
certainly did not. I didn't even know. Well, at the time, I don't think I knew that chess.com was headquartered here. It took me, yeah, I didn't know until I had been president for like a year or two and started researching it. But nah, man, chess.com ambassador program is thick. So
Yeah, and
appreciate the hookups.
yeah, you connected us to your new club leader Dan, right?
Yes. So I mean, it's like they've been because our so it's initially Ethan, and then Dan has kind of like taken his spot because Ethan's graduating. So, but yeah, Dan is he's a G as well. He's been awesome.
So if you're in Utah and your name's Dan, it sounds like you have some connection to chess.
Yeah, what the heck? What's the deal there? Or your middle name is Dan.
Yeah,
You got a lot of Dan presence in the
probably
chess
helps with
world.
the elo if you just change your name. That might add some points.
What what we have this kid that comes to I mean he's not a kid. We have this guy that comes to chess night. And his name is Magnus Harbo. Um, and he pre-registered for the tournament and I put his name up there, and people were like, but I didn't put his last name. I just put Magnus. People were like, "What? Are you serious?"
It's crazy.
Pretty funny.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, now you can say you've beat Magnus if you beat him.
I I think I
Have you-
did I beat Magnus? He probably beat me, honestly. That would have been hilarious.
Okay, so we need to work on your
And
chess.
he's from Norway, so
No way.
oh I need to get my
Norway.
chess game up for sure.
That's funny. Okay, so Magnus from Norway. Hmm. Strong chess in his veins, I bet.
I know, yeah, and I like he plays fine, he plays good, but I think people were like, "Oh, your name's Magnus and you're not like at least 2000? What?" So, um, but no, he's a good player. But I mean, he has a name going for him. When people would see his name and see the pairings, they'd be like, "Oh shoot, I'm playing Magnus."
He's got that intimidation factor.
That's what Mario's got now, though. Like people are always so afraid to play Mario.
There's another player out in Utah. I am blanking on his name right now. And I've seen him in some of your pictures. He's like 2K plus,
Powell probably Powell Walker.
maybe.
We got Powell. We got Brian
Brian.
Leano.
I think it's Brian.
Yeah, yeah. Brian's solid. He'll
Brian beats me,
he
man.
Brian what?
Brian beats me.
Yeah. Oh, Brian's crazy. Yeah, he cleans house when he comes to chess night. Snags
Mario
a
saying he
quick little.
just made NM.
Did he really?
I mean, it's about time. I think
Dang, good
he
for
might have
him.
been the only player I played in this Blitz tournament at Salt Lake City CC, and I think he might have been the only one to. Maybe there was I don't. He was the one that I remember him beating me pretty easily. So I was like, this guy's
Yeah,
pretty good.
I can't remember anybody else that would. I mean, him, Powell, Mario might know of a few more. They have a couple players at the U of U club, but I don't think they're quite at Brian's level. That's great that he got an M.
Yeah, I feel like not that many titled players in Utah. You do have Caden though, so which is
Correct.
also kind
Yeah,
of random.
he's the. It is so random, but it's great. He's the trophy of Utah's chess accomplishment in terms of rating.
Well, yeah, it's him and then Danny Wrench. I think.
Yeah, that's
Do you
fair.
think he's the do you think Danny's the second strongest
Well,
player, or is there another?
what was Danny? What's his PP
Danny's an
low?
IM.
Okay, then
He's pretty
yeah. I mean,
good.
technically, he is from Arizona, though. So
Okay,
I
so
mean,
he doesn't get to claim the Utah.
like you got to be born
Wow.
here. I mean, if he, I don't know if he was raised here. I know he's from Arizona, so I don't know if he was raised here or just moved here later. But
No,
we'll take him.
I don't
Well,
think he was.
Utah will take whoever.
He's been there for a few years now, so but yeah, you'll see him tomorrow, and maybe you guys can play a game.
Oh,
I mean,
geez.
I know you're doing an interview, and I know that you guys are making some content. So, what would you want to do, content wise? Like, let's say Danny had time to go visit your chess club. What would you do? Just film content with him? Like, what would the content be?
I think we'd probably like uh, we'd probably leverage the super suit. Like I think we would definitely do that. We do some silly content. Um, and then I don't know, maybe some puzzles. See how fast he can solve some puzzles. Maybe see if we can get him to mess up on on recorded line.
So you said the super shoot?
It's the super suit.
Oh, super suit.
The super suit. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, okay, so the
Yep.
green pawn.
That's what we call the green
The
pawn,
green
baby.
pawn.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, so green pawn and you have your knight costume. Is there anything else that like you've seen other chess content creators do that you're like, that's really cool. Like I should start doing that.
Yeah, I mean we've done bits and pieces. When I was in Washington Square Park, I went and played with some homies out there. I played with like I know Andrea and Anna Kramling played him. He's a hoot and a half to play, but playing chess hustlers, that's really fun. more than I would like to improve my ability to play like a hustler more than my actual elo. It's just so entertaining to get roasted as you play. Um, and I think that type of content is just really fun to watch, both in person and like online. And so I'd love to like build the hustle, chess hustling culture in Utah. It's harder when it's not a metropolitan area, but that's content I personally like, that resonates. So I think that's probably the one.
So who's the best hustler in Utah right now? Is it Mario?
Mario. Mario,
Or
Mario, I don't see him. I mean, yeah, he'll hustle people for the win, but I don't think he smack talks very much. If you
okay.
want to be a real hustler, I need to hear some more smack talk, Mario.
So who's the best trash talker in Utah?
Trash talker in Utah. I don't know. That presence is not very filled.
Well, so I mean, you said you want to
um,
learn the ways of the hustle, so I guess maybe you could fill that role.
yeah, exactly. Maybe I got to go back out to the. I go to New York pretty often, so next time I go, we'll do a bit. Oh, I brought the suit to New York. I brought the night suit, and I was gonna film content out there, and it popped. I was like, oh, brutal.
Unreal.
Um, but yeah, I definitely would like to get good at hustling, so maybe I can fill that space. If any of you know hustlers, send them to our Instagram, and I'd like to have them on.
Yeah, you gotta study their ways. But that's awesome.
You do.
Well, it sounds like you have a lot on your plate. You've got your club to run. You've got full-time work, part-time student. You've got a Danny interview at the studio tomorrow. Um, what time's your club meeting tonight?
Club meets from 7 to 9, unless you want a little free class. Then we got 6:30 to 7. We go over some of the chess basics. We're also doing for my mom's birthday because she's a G and she loves chess night. She is doing like Cafe Rio style like burritos. So anybody that shows up gets some Cafe Rio. So if that doesn't persuade you, I don't know what can.
That's amazing. Is it her birthday today?
It was her birthday yesterday.
Okay.
But she's like the chess night mom. She just like loves all the homies and she's great. So
That's awesome. Yeah, I hear a lot about soccer moms. Now we have chess moms, which is great.
that's a niche that needs to grow. We need more women in chess. Also, yeah, any girls, I if there are any girls on this right now, all girls get in free to chess night. So
Huge.
let that be known.
Yeah.
Huge.
Now
Yeah,
there's really no reason not to go.
that's what I'm saying. Need more women in chess.
I love it. Well,
Well, Joe, I I just want to say thank you for the opportunities. Like honestly, the ambassador program was so cool, and I think you guys do an incredible job. And it's just been really cool to build a network there and see how chess can change lives. Like, and I say that kind of cliche, but also like I really do think it can. And I think it builds confidence. It helps people understand how to build community. And your program has totally done that for college students, myself included. So appreciate what you do, and I appreciate you having me on.
that's amazing, dude. We're gonna have to like clip that and use it as our advertisement for the ambassador program.
Yo, I can say it again. I can say it again if you need
You're
me
you're
to.
becoming an ambassador of the ambassador program.
Dude, I will sing it from the rooftops. It's been an awesome program. So
Awesome, dude. That no, and that makes me so happy to hear because like I don't think it's cliche at all. Chess has definitely made a huge impact on my own life personally, and to be able to provide opportunities for other chess players out there in the community just makes me really happy because this stuff didn't exist when I was a student, you know, and to be
totally.
able to run it now means a lot to me. So love that we're able to change lives and make the program exciting for the college world in chess. So yeah, Rob, you've been amazing. You've been incredible. You're doing some great things. So I'll leave you to it. Thanks for joining us, and we're gonna definitely stay tuned to all the wonderful things that you're doing, and really can't wait to see how this interview with Danny turns out tomorrow.
Thank you. I'm stoked for it as well. Thanks for having me on, Joe.
Right, before we go, I do have to shout out. We've got some things coming up this weekend. Collegiate Chess League D1 quarterfinals starts on Saturday. So we've got a big matchup between UT Dallas and Athens, and actually no, UT Dallas and Mizzou, and Athens and UT Rio Grande Valley. So two Texas schools
Nice.
competing to have their chance to play in the semifinals, which are against SLU and Webster. We also have our playoff prediction brackets out. The links in the chat. You have a chance to win a JBL clip speaker courtesy of our sponsor at SIG, plus 6 months diamond membership from chess.com if you win. And there's 24 brackets you can fill out. So definitely maximize your chances to win. Rob, who do you think's your favorite?
Oh, geez, out of that lineup, I, I, uh, I don't think I'm choosing favorites here. I'm just along for the ride. I'm along to watch. But may the best team win.
Yeah, I'm actually gonna fill out my predictions on stream later tonight, so tune
Oh,
in
tight.
for that if anyone wants to see who my money's on. But all right, thanks again, Rob. I'll look forward to your interview. So good luck in that.
Hey, appreciate it, Joe. You take care.
All right, see ya.